Okay, so this is Algebra 1, Lesson 6.2. We're going to look at solving systems of equations by substitution. So let's start with our warm-up. The first part says solve the systems of linear equations for x. So we want to get it into an x equals equation. So all we have to do is move this 3 over on this first one, and we get y minus 3 equals x. And we're done. For the next one, I'm going to move the 4 over. So I'm going to add 4 to both sides and get y plus 4 equals 3x. Then I'm going to divide everything by 3 so that I get 1/3 y plus 4/3 equals x. Okay, the next one says to simplify the expression, and they want us to distribute. So all we're going to get is 2x minus 10. Okay, the next one we're going to get 12 minus 3x minus 3 because this negative has to distribute. Then we can combine this negative 3 and 12, and we will get 9 minus 3x. Okay, evaluate each expression for the given value of x. So that means we're going to plug this value of x into the. Okay, so we're going to plug in 6 for x, so 2/3 times 6 plus 8. This 3 and this 6 will cancel, so we're left with 2 times 2, which is 4 plus 8, and that will give us 12. Okay, for the next one, we're going to plug in 10 to x. So we're going to plug in 10 minus 7. We have to do what's in parentheses first. 10 minus 7 is 3, and then 3 times 3 is 9. So not too bad. Okay, so we're going to look at solving systems of equations with 2 variables using a method called substitution. And sometimes it can be difficult to identify the exact solution to a system. Remember, a system is when we have 2 or more equations. And we did the graphing the other day. And the graphing can be hard because you have to find where they intersect, and that can be difficult. So the goal for substitution is to reduce the system to one equation that has only one variable so that you can solve the equation by the method that we learned back in chapter 2, just solving basic algebraic equations. So for solving systems of equations, your first step is to solve for one variable in at least one of the equations. So if you don't have one of the equations that it's a single x equals or y equals, you need to solve one of them for that. Step 2 is to substitute the resulting expression into the other equation. You're going to plug that into the other equation. Step 3 is to solve the equation to get the value of the first variable. Step 4, we substitute the value into the original, and step 5, we solve for the other variable, and we get an ordered pair x comma y. So this is going to make a lot more sense after we do it. So let's do an example together. Okay, so we need to solve the system by substitution. Well, both equations are solved for y. So we already have one that's a y equals 3x and y equals x minus 2. We're going to substitute 3x for y into the second equation because it's telling us y equals 3x. So we can put that into y. So we get 3x equals x minus 2. Now we can solve for what x equals. So I can minus an x. So I get 2x equals negative 2. Divide both sides by 2, and x is equal to negative 1. So I solve for one of the variables, okay? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug that value into one of the original equations. So I'm going to use the first one, y equals 3x. And we got that x is equal to negative 1, so I'm going to plug that in. So then y is equal to negative 3. So we got x equals negative 1 and y equals negative 3. So our point, our solution is negative 1, negative 3. Now we can check by plugging these values into the equations. So I'm going to plug negative 3 in for y. Oops, sorry guys. And negative 1 into x. So negative 3, we're good. On this side, I'm going to do the same thing. Negative 3, negative 1. Negative 1 minus 2 is negative 3, so we're good. So that solution is fine. Okay, so let's try another one. So step 1 again is to solve them for one of the variables. Well, if you look, we already have a y equals. So we can take this x plus 1 and plug it into our y of our second equation. So I'm going to do 4x plus x plus 1 because I'm plugging that into y. Now I can combine like terms. 5x plus 1 equals 6. Subtract 1 and I get 5x equals 5. Divide both sides by 5 and x is equal to 1. So I solved for one of the variables. Now I'm going to plug this back into one of the equations. And again, I'm picking this first one because it's just a little easier to work with. So x plus 1. I'm going to plug in what I got. What x is 1. And then I get that y equals 2. So my solution is my x comma y, so my 1 comma 2. And all you would do to make sure that you're correct is to plug this into both equations. Okay, so here's another one. So we've got x plus 2y equals -1 and x minus y equals 5. Step 1, we need to get one of the equations so that it equals a single variable. I'm going to go with this second one because it looks a little easier to work with. And if I just move that y over, I'll get x equals y plus 5. Okay, since I moved it to the other side, it's now positive. Now I can plug y plus 5 in for x, since that's what x equals. So I'm going to do y plus 5 plus 2y equals -1. I can combine these terms, so I get 3y plus 5 equals -1. Move my 5 over, and I get 3y equals -6. Now I can divide both sides by 3, and y is equal to -2. So I've got one of my variables. Now I've got to plug this back in. So I'm going to take that second equation. It looks a lot easier to work with, so I'm going to do that. And plug in -2 into y. So x minus, you do have to put the minus and then the -2. So that becomes x plus 2 equals 5. Subtract 2 from both sides, so x is equal to 3. So our solution is 3 comma -2 because we got this for x and this for y. Sometimes when you substitute an expression for the variable, it'll have a coefficient. And all you have to do is you have to distribute before you can solve. So we're going to see that in the next one. Just a little caution here. If you solve one equation for a variable, you have to substitute that value or expression into the original equation, the other equation, not the one that you had just solved for. So for example, on this last one that we did, when we solved this for y, we had to plug solved it for x, we had to plug it into the other equation. We can't plug it back into the same equation. You won't get the right answer. Okay, so we've got two equations. I'm going to pick this one. The reason I'm picking this one is because I see a y sitting by itself. And all these other ones have something out in front. So if I move that 6x over, I can get y equals 11 minus 6x. Then I can plug that into my second equation. I can plug y equals 11 minus 6x. I can plug that into y. But I need to put it in parentheses. 11 minus 6x equals -5. Now I distribute that 2 to everything. So I get 22 minus 12x equals -5. I'm going to combine these terms. So I get -9x plus 22 equals -5. Move my 22 over, and I get -9x equals -27. Divide both sides by -9, and x is equal to 3. So I've got an x, now I've got to solve for my y. So I'm going to use y plus 6x equals 11. I'm going to plug in the 3 into my x that I just solved for. So I get y plus 18 equals 11. Move that 18 over, and y is equal to -7. So my solution is 3 comma -7. And again, you can check and make sure you're right by just plugging it in to both equations. Okay, now we're going to do a little bit of a word problem. I accidentally cut out one of those slides, so you guys are going to have to watch me write over on the side to get some space. Jenna's deciding between two cell phone plans. The first plan has $50 a month for a fee just to sign up for the plan, and then it costs you $20 per month on top of that. The other plan, you have to spend $30 just to sign up, and then it costs you $25 per month. I want to know after how many months will the cost be the same? Okay, how many months is going to take for plan 1 to equal plan 2? And then if Jenna has to sign up for a 1-year contract, which one will be cheaper? So we're going to do 2 parts here, okay? We're going to write an equation and let T represent the total amount of money spent and M represent the number of months, okay? So our verbal model here is that the total paid is equal to the sign-up fee plus the payment amount for each month. So for option 1, the total paid is $50 plus $20 per month. For option 2, it's $30 for a sign-up fee plus $25 per month. Okay, so now we've got 2 equations. T equals 50 plus 20M and T equals 30 plus 25M. Now I need to solve for one of the variables first. If you look, I have 2 equations that both equal a total. So I have a T. I can plug this into this T so that I get 50 plus 20M equals 30 plus 25M. I'm going to move this 20M over so that I get 50 equals 30 plus 5M. Now I'm going to move this 30 over and get 20 equals 5M. I'm going to divide by 5 and M is equal to 4. Okay, now I can plug this 4 into either equation. I'm going to use the second equation, T equals 30 plus 25M, and I'm going to plug 4 in for M. So I get 30 plus 100, so T is equal to 130. So my solution is that at 4 months, I will be at the same total of $130. So in 4 months, the total costs will be the same at $130. Okay? Now, the second part of the problem said if Jenna has to sign a 1-year contract, which one will be cheaper? Okay? Because even though they're the same at 4 months, it's not always going to be equal. One plan will be better in the long run. So for option 1, we're going to use T equals 50 plus 20M. And if it's 1 year, you can't just plug 1 into the M. You actually have to plug 12 because there are 12 months in a year. So we're going to plug that in. And if you solve that out, you're going to get $290. So for 1 year, option 1 will cost $290. For 1 year on option 2, we're going to plug in 12 as well. And that will come out to $330. So which one is a better deal after a year? Well, it's option 1 because it'll only cost you $290, whereas option 2 will cost you $330 for a year. Okay, so this last lesson part quiz, there's 3 problems. If you would right now go ahead and pause the video, I want you to try these on your own, and then I'm going to write the answers out so you can check yourself. So just a reminder of this lesson, you need to solve one of the equations for a single variable. So for example, we've already got that on this first problem. You can then plug that into the variable of the second equation, solve for your one variable, and then plug that variable back in to get the second variable. Okay? So the solution for the first one, again, pause it. Please do it, guys. I really want you to make sure you know what you're doing. Actually, I'll do this one really fast. So I'm going to plug 2x into y. So I get 2x equals 1/2 x minus 3. I'm going to multiply everything by 2 to get rid of my denominator. You guys, we did this a few chapters ago. So I get 4x equals x minus 6. If I move that x over, subtract it, I get 3x equals negative 6. So then I get x is equal to negative 2. Now I can plug that into y equals 2x, and I get 2 times negative 2, so y is equal to negative 4. So my solution is negative 2 comma negative 4. For the second one, go ahead and try that. So pause it. Your solution will be 1 comma 2. And for the third one, again, make sure you try this. You'll get negative 3/2 comma negative 11/2. Okay? So make sure you guys really have watched this video, and then we'll do lots of practice with it on the homework. Okay? Thanks.